Week 2, this is the music theory class. We're going to talk about music notes. Let's assume that I put this in front of you. I just wrote it. And I say, you know what? I would like you to sing this song for me. You would look at this and go, what in the world is all of this? We'll talk about some of the things, measures, and all this kind of stuff. So one thing I want you to learn about is what we call a measure. So each time we see this where it's got the line in it, anything in between the two lines is a measure. So if I said you're actually going to come in on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 measure. It's got a repeat on it, so we're just going to ignore that for right now. But you can see, you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, you're going to come in on 5, right? Going to come in right here on the 5th. And then you say, okay, I can count that. That's pretty simple. But then you see all this stuff. You see these ties, and you see these notes and all this kind of stuff. I mean, we recognize notes as notes, but maybe we don't know exactly what they mean. So one is to be able to read notes, to know that this is a C, this is another C, this is a D, a C, a D, and an E. But for right now, what I just want we're going to talk about is how to read the notes, and the fact that the notes are going to be found on these these measures. We already talked about treble clef and bass clef. You should know that this is treble or bass. This is treble. All right, and we're going to learn about whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, 8th, 16th, 36, probably not 36 and 64. Usually about the 16th note is all that we need. So let's go back up to the top. And if I sing this, he said, let's get out of this town, drive out of the city, away from the town crowds. I thought heaven can help me now, nothing lasts forever. Now, we know this song, or I know this song pretty well, so I know how to sing it. But if I showed you something and you didn't know the song, how would you know how to sing it? I know you know how to sing it because of the number of beats each one of these things gets. Now, we look at this and we see this one right here, and it's got a little diddly-do, a little flag. We call this a flag. And we see some other stuff with some dots on it, and we're going to not worry about that right now. We're just going to worry about the main parts, which are the main stuff. Like here we have this one right here. We have this one, and this one. And I don't see any of the other ones that we're going to worry about. But let's just focus on whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, and eighth notes, because that's what we see. And that's what you're normally going to see in those. That just means how many beats does the note get? Like how long would you sing it for? Now there's another thing we have to worry about is the time signature, but we're going to just assume for now the easiest thing is that this song gets 4 beats per measure. So within this measure, we have to have enough notes to equal 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can't have 3. We can't have 2. We can't have 1. Now, there's other things we'll add in, which are called rest, what we see here, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So we're just going to worry about how many notes they get the beat. So we're going to say that we're just talking about 4. A whole note would get 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next one is a half note. A half note gets 2 beats. 1, 2. A quarter note would get 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I asked you how many quarter notes could we have in this measure, you would say 4, because each quarter note gets 1 beat, 1, and then we need 4 of those to make us 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I asked you how many half notes could I put in a measure, you should say 2, because 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 1, 2 equals 4. So 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Let me draw on here. Wrong computer. And the whole note, we would only have one because there's only 4 beats and the most we can have is 4. So this one would be 4. This is 2. This is 1. So in this measure, I could have 1 whole note. I could have 2 half notes. And I could have 4 quarter notes. So let's just do 3 measures where I'm going to hold out 1 whole note, hold out 2 half notes, and then hold out 4 quarter notes. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me write that out so you can see what it looks like. So if I go back up here, and we'll just put it down anywhere, I would do 1 whole note. That gives me 4. I would do a half note and a half note. And then for this last one, I would do 4 quarter notes. So let me clap that out again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I was to sing it, ignore that the notes are all over the place. And let's just sing ah, 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 ah. Okay. Hold out 4. Ah, and you just hold it. Ah, 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 ah. Okay. Now the next one we're going to look at. So let's go back up to here. Where we see this is, what do we have? We need to go back down and go one more, which is an 8th note. And we see it just starts to go down. The 8th note is half of a quarter note. So it gets half a beat. And if it gets half a beat, we know all we have to do is what? Double this number. So the most 8th notes we can have is 8. So let's go back up here and let's look at what that looks like. There's a little flag here. 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay, so let's clap this out again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As you notice, what happens? The beats get faster. So if you want to have like a faster song, more words in it, you would have the quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But they all go into the same beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So let's just sing this one out on ah. Ah, 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 ah. That's a little bit harder, right? Ah, 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 ah. Now, let's look and see if we have anything else. We do have this one right here. We're going to add this one in since it's in here. This is called okay. Let's add in one more that's not on here. That's in the song, which is this note with a dot on it. And we just call this, luckily, a dotted 8th note. You might also see this like this. And that is a dotted quarter note. But the question is, how many does it get? The quarter adds half of whatever beat that is. Okay, so it adds half. So this is now not one beat, it's 1.5 beats. Now, you might also see whatever the half is. So you might also see, oops, let me erase that one. A little white. A dotted half note. If a dotted half note is 2 beats, how many would this get? It would get 3. It's half, we add in half. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So it's 2 plus 1 is equal to 3 beats. Now you tell me, or think to yourself, since we're not live together, would we have a dotted whole note? Is there such thing as a dotted whole note? Now your first inclination is no, because the most I can have is 4. I can't have 5. I can't, if I did this in half, it'd be 6. I can't have 6. Now we can have a dotted quarter note in certain music that has 6 beats, and we'll talk about that. But for this, what we're talking about for today, no, we would not see a dotted whole note. So let's go back up to our sheet music and let's add in a dotted half note and a dotted quarter note. So if I go back up to here and let me add in, I'm going to add in a dotted half note here. And a dotted, excuse me, quarter note. Okay, and this is 3. This is 3 beats, 1, 2, 3. What do I need to add in order to make it 4? I can add a couple of these, right? I can add 4 of these, or I can just add 1 of these to make it 4. We'll just do it easiest. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is 1.5. What would be the easiest thing to do here? Would be to add another 1.5. 1.5 plus 1.5 is what? 3? So I just need 1 more. So in this sense, I can just add in 1 more note. So that's 1 and 2 and actually 3, 4. Can't do my math. Come on, erase it. Let me just get rid of it. There we go. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So I've only got 1, 2, 2.5, right? My brain's not working this morning. I was right the first time. We're just going to add 1 more because that's 3, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. So actually that's 1 and 2 and 3, 4. I was right. I'm going to add in a half note to make it 3, 4. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2. And if you ever get stuck, this is what you do. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we call this 1 and 2 and 3 and you can have a 4 and. That's fine. An and at the end. And this is 1, 2, 3. And this is 4. And this is 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So let's clap this out right quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3. Or 1 and 2 and 3, 3, 4. So let's sing this. Ah, 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 ah. Okay, so let's go back up to the music and let's see what we got. Now we can see we have this little pickup. We're not going to worry about that because we have these rests and stuff. So we're just going to ignore that for right now. So we got 1 and 1. So we have 1. This comes together as 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and sorry. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. There we go. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. He said, let's get out of this. 1, 2, drive out of the city, away from the town crowds. I thought heaven can help me now. Nothing lasts forever. Right? So that's how you read some notes. Sorry for some of my math's not working so great this morning. But you can see it could get a little confusing a little bit. But that's why we have people who write music. And when you write music, the systems will tell you you don't have enough beats in the measure, and it'll fix all that for you. But that just gives you an idea of what all these little notes are and how to count them when you are trying to learn how to read sheet music. And if there's something that you're interested in and someone throwing down a piece of music at you and saying, hey, look at this and sing it for me. All right, thanks. Sorry about that.